The great brownie debate. What's your favorite? Or do you even believe there is different type of brownie that can still be called by that name? They say there is 2, maybe even 3 types of brownie. What do you think? Hello guys, welcome back to the Vegan Sweet Addiction YouTube channel. I'm Valentine. I made some research to create this recipe and it was quite a surprise for me to hear about this juicy question. I've also learned that brownie have 2 of their own holidays. Crazy. National Brownie Day on December 8th and National Have a Brownie Day on February 10th. I'm not really sure about the difference. Maybe one is for making your own brownie and the other one is from getting brownie from someone else? Not sure. But no matter the answer, today I'm delivering what most of us want, me including. The chocolate lover dream. A super fudgy, super chocolatey and super gooey. The perfect vegan brownie. Let's go! First, 3 things before we get into the recipe. Every ingredient I'm going to give you is in your pantry. Prep time is 10 minutes, literally. Those brownie can last up to 2 weeks in your fridge, but trust me, it's never going to last that long. Okay, so I'm preheating my oven to 170 Celsius. So today I'm using a silicone mold, but if you're using a tin, it's the perfect time to grease it. For this recipe, a 20 cm square tin is perfect. 120 grams of vegan dark chocolate, 180 grams of vegan margarine, 65 ml of water, 265 grams of all-purpose flour, 220 grams of icing sugar, 30 grams of cacao powder, 2/3 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 pinch of salt, 60 grams of vegan chocolate chips, 60 grams of walnuts. So guys, I've got some dairy-free chocolate. It's quite a dark chocolate, but feel free to use any chocolate you wish. Make sure it's dairy-free though. There is nothing worse than a brownie that won't have any actual chocolate in it and that is only made with cacao powder. It cannot get fudgy like that. First of all, I'm going to melt the dark chocolate and the margarine with the water. There is a couple of ways you can melt them. You can use a hot water bath, it's called a bain-marie, and put a heat-proof bowl on top of boiling water. You can also put everything in a pan on the stove, just to make sure it's really on low heat or you might burn it. You can also just put it in the microwave, it's completely up to you. Once it's all melted, I'm allowing it some time to cool slightly. While this is happening, we're going to mix all of our dry ingredients together and make sure to get rid of any lumps. That's basically the dry ingredients done. Give that a stir until there is no more dry flour and the batter looks shiny and edible. But don't eat it! And then add the dark chocolate chips, the walnuts and drop them. Fold them in and bring over your baking pan. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes. Now, how long should we wait before we can cut those brownies? Well, you want to wait until your brownie has cooled down completely for the optimal texture. Usually it's going to take around 2 to 3 hours until it's cooled down from the edges to the middle. If you want to speed up the process, you can just leave it to cool slightly until it's not burning hot to the touch. and put it in the fridge for around half an hour, I would say. I want to serve my brownie with a light and creamy vanilla custard that's going to take it to the next level and make it absolutely irresistible. And there is nothing easier to do than a custard. So I'm going to start preparing it while my brownies are cooling down. Follow me. 250 ml of a plant-based milk, 10 grams of vegan butter, 1 vanilla bean, 25 grams of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, half a teaspoon of turmeric. In a heavy bottom saucepan, I will bring to a boil vegan milk and vanilla. In another bowl, I'm going to combine the cornstarch, sugar and turmeric. While the milk is hot, I'm going to gradually dilute the dry ingredient into the hot milk. Then put it back on the heat and bring to a boil for 1 minute without stopping stirring with a whisk. Once it's cooked, I'm going to remove it from the heat and add the vegan butter and whisk until I get a smooth emulsion. Everything is now ready. The brownie is all done and look how beautiful it is. I'm always very impressed with that. Now let's just get it out of the pan and I'm going to cut it into some cute little square bite-sized pieces. That looks perfect. I'm going to dish it up because if you watch other of my recipe video, you will know I love to go extra fancy with my food. So let's do that. Do you know why we cut brownies that way? The legends say a housewife didn't have baking powder and improvised this new recipe. It was said that she was baking for guests and chose to serve those flattened cakes to them, but decided to cut them into squares to make them more presentable. Always serve brownie at room temperature. Warming them up makes them gooier and fudgier.
Thank you! Hello guys!
Let's give those a try.
Clearly the chocolate lover's dream. It's so fudgy.
That's super moist, super rich, and clearly super fudgy. That, guys, were the perfect fudgy brownies.
You should store your leftover brownie in your fridge. They are super gooey and super fudgy, so the chill temperature will ensure they don't spoil. You could also keep them in your freezer for up to 6 months. Last fact of the day. After that, I'm going to leave you to enjoy my brownie. Most people know the common definition of the word brownie, this chocolate baked goods. But did you know there is also a mythical creature in the Scottish folklore that is called a brownie? Brownies are tiny, fanciful and good-natured elves that help out and do good deeds at night. That's also where fairy tale brownies got its name from. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and comment. And stay tuned, I have a lot of other recipes coming your way. And like always, if there is any specific recipe you want me to veganize, leave a comment down below. I'm going to make sure to add it to my list. I'm going to sign off for today. Bye bye, see you soon.